Wretched Radio begins in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
So Shay just sent an email. I'm sorry for the offense. Todd, I just heard you read a tweet during your last segment stating, and I paraphrase, that pastors who can't preach the word without a trendy gimmick should just go drive a truck. Well, I've never. How offensive. My pastor preaches the word straight up and is a truck driver. Seriously. I think I may just have to put out a decree and perhaps a declaration. We're in trouble now. That all truck driving pastors should boycott Wretched Radio. In good Christian love, of course. Prepare for a massive ratings drop. Well, dude, it's not hard to drop from where we presently are. Hey, I'm very relieved, though. I do have to tell you this, despite that threat with Christian love from Shay. Apparently, I've got a little more free time today than I anticipated. I was going to spend a good portion of my day going to look for those websites, those conferences, the books where you are told as a pastor to grow, get big, so that we could understand the type of pressure that a pastor is under and how so much of evangelicalism has fallen sway to this idea that no matter what, you have got to be big. But I don't have to go do that anymore. I don't have to go scour the internet to look for a demonstration of how much pressure, or in this case, threats and intimidation and, frankly, meanness, a pastor receives if he doesn't try to grow his church. Because I just found this clip promoting a conference.
Here's the deal with Pastor Craig. He's awesome. I think he's got the biggest church in the United States of America. Some say, well, it's not about being the biggest. Here's what I would tell you. Let's say you're a second grade rec league basketball player and LeBron James is willing to coach you. Take it. Don't talk about how it's bad to be tall and how dunking is cheating and how, you could do it better or the way you do it is more authentic or you have a verse from Leviticus so the way you shoot the three-pointer is more holy than him. Listen, be humble, learn something.
Now, that is a great example. And by the way, an analogy never proves a point. It only illuminates a point. That analogy falls apart all over itself. A basketball player who scores a lot of points is not the same as a pastor. Now, I know that will come as a shock because I'm suspecting that somebody has rewritten the Bible to say, the Lord is my basketball coach so that I can shoot three-pointers or something like that. But a shepherd is not told to grow a church or to have records. He is told to be faithful.
One mouth, two ears, do the math, shut up, take a few notes, see what you can learn.
Wow. That motivates and inspires me. Now imagine a pastor hearing this.
I know it's a strong exhortation and rebuke, and it's primarily for those of you educated beyond your intelligence who spend a lot of time reading footnotes and dead guys criticizing men who are doing things. Well, the only thing you're doing is criticizing.
Irony isn't lost on me. That's just mean is what that is. And there's a lot of pastors who do read dead guys because they actually think the dead guys had something going on. They actually thought, the Holy Spirit indwelt them. They read, they studied probably more than we do, especially if you're a pastor who happens to rely incessantly on, say docent, somebody who really relies on a sermon provider so that you don't have to do a whole lot of studying. It's unfortunate they don't cut your front lawn, quote. So they did a lot of studying. They had this Holy Spirit in them. Why wouldn't you want to go learn from some of those guys? I'm reminded again, we are so quick to throw out the dead guys, are we not? No thought, no consideration, no, hey, I wonder why they used to do that. Why did they put the organ in the back? Why did the choir wear robes? Why was the pulpit so big and not made out of plexiglass? Hey, let's debate those issues. I'm not saying they definitely had it right, but to treat them so glibly and to treat those who are trying to be faithful shepherds so meanly?
Here's Pastor Craig. Huge church. He does not submit his attendance numbers for the annual list of the largest churches in America, probably because he's just humble. But I think he's got the biggest church in the United States of America. He is one of the leaders in pioneering multi-site. I know some of you disagree with it. That's okay. Show up and learn and how to grow your thing rather than criticize his thing.
Big, 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 big! It's got to be big. No discernment. Who cares? Why not bring in LeBron James to the conference? Let's teach him. Oh, wait a second. We don't go to the world. The world should be coming to us. That is just a sample of the type of pressure that your pastor feels almost daily. Almost daily. Please may I encourage you, don't join that group of people who is shellacking your pastor. I please, just don't. He is hearing stuff like this constantly. And this particular diatribe meant to mock and belittle. That wasn't a stern rebuke. That's just nastiness is all that was. What a loser you are if you're not like Pastor Craig. That's what that says. You're not. He's the model. See what he's doing? See what Pastor LeBron is doing? Do what he says to do. Hold on. I think it's fair that we can stop and say, is what anybody is doing biblical? Furthermore, is it possible that a context might drive some of those decisions? Well, what does this do to the small town pastor? You know, there's places in North and South Dakota where one pastor will take care of 3 or 4 churches in a town. Seriously. And every Sunday, first service, 8 o'clock, hightail it to the next town, get to the next, and then do the Sunday night in another town. Why? Because they can't sustain one pastor. Now, how's that guy supposed to feel? Huh? Shut up and listen and learn. They can't even grow there's just no growth potential there. It's South Dakota. Have you been to South Dakota? I'm telling you, it is so flat in South Dakota.
How flat is it?
I'll tell you what, you can stand in South Dakota, look into the east, and see the back of your head. It is so flat in South Dakota.
That's flat.
It is so flat in South Dakota.
How flat is it?
They don't even have you wear a seat buckle in South Dakota, because you can fall asleep, you can drive off the road 70, 80 acres through a corn patch, you can make your way right back up, no problems. It is so flat in South Dakota, and there's just no opportunity for growth there. So what is that pastor supposed to feel like after that drubbing? Honestly. That was so pastoral. Just encourages me to pieces. Hey, speaking of